by the fact they've broken through that dangerous top order. Still, though, Tom Latham has not been to the batting crease at number 5. They've got to keep working hard this bowling attack. They need more penetration. Courtney Walsh, I'm sure their bowling coach would have stressed that for them. On the subject of coaches, though, we are very lucky to have Gary Stead down sideline. Steady, pull up a chair, because, boy, are we going to give it to you.
Thanks very much.
No, seriously. 77 for 2, mate, after 16. Happy with that?
It's a reasonable start for us. Obviously, when you're losing wickets early, it makes it a bit tougher, so we're going to have to rebuild now, I think, for the next 15 to 20 overs, and hopefully we can do that well and efficiently, and then build up for a really good, blast at the end.
Well, with the way it's gone so far, and it's gone swimmingly well, it has to be said, really in a weird sort of a way, it wouldn't be too bad a thing to have your middle order tested.
No, we haven't seen past number 4 so far, so that's good for us, the guys like, or these guys out here, and then hopefully Tom Latham and Jimmy Neesham and Colin de Grandhomme a little bit later get exposure as well.
Gary, it's Leslie Murdoch here. Just the composition of your playing 11, as far as the spinners go, and I'm talking, it must be a delicate balance to try and balance up who gets playing opportunities between Mitchell Santner with his injury issues and Todd Ash.
And in our opinion, in the matches we've played, with only having one spinner is the right balance that we've had, and unfortunately we can't fit 13 into 11 all the time, but I guess in this sense then Mitch has been given the nod again.
Gary, just looking at the way you put the side together today, Colin Munro opened the batting and then you had Henry Nicholls at 3. Does that mean someone like Henry Nicholls potentially could be the opener, but also if there's injuries in that middle order, he would slip down and Colin Munro would be opening in the Cricket World Cup?
Could be. Look, I think Henry's shown that he's been a really versatile player for us. He's batted 6 for a good period of time, and I know through the time that I had with him at Canterbury that he had the opening, prowess and stuff in him as well. So it's great that, he shows that versatility, and he's a key cog, I think, in our batting lineup.
Gary, from a wicket-keeper's point of view, an old wizened old wicket-keeper, the World Cup in terms of that, you've got to cover all your bases, obviously, when you select a squad of that size. We've only seen Tom in terms of the 50-over game, so we're assuming that he's your number 1 choice. What about cover? Is this a curly one for you in terms of the balance of the side?
I think it is a curly one. It's one we're still really, figuring out in our own minds here as well, but I'm pretty sure you're right, Smithy, that we will need to look at taking cover for the World Cup as well, because if you have an injury early, then it makes it very, very, very difficult to have a part-timer that take the roles for anything that could be up to 3 or 4 weeks. Targets of anything above about 220, 230 in this series, but that is what it is, and we can't sort of change that. We've bowled pretty well, I think, throughout, and I guess we can only play what's in front of us there.
Gary, just finally, 90% certain.
Injuries can happen.
Gary Stead there, and Seifert in here. 1 for 7 from 3 overs, quite accurate stuff. Well, some good food for thought there, Craig. I think if I'm Tim Seifert, I'm feeling bad about the conversation.
Yeah, smart question, Ed. Well done, well disguised. I thought that was the challenge, try and get some answers out of what we're seeing in 3 months' time. I took from it Henry Nicholls will be the top of the order, Colin Munro goes. But if there is an injury in the middle, then Munro will come to the top of the order and Nicholls hops into the middle because he is very versatile. He's showing that, playing nicely today. But the answer to say that it's very hard for a part-timer to step up, because the challenge is you might have an injury the day of the game. Yes, sometimes you can fill in, but if Tom Latham was injured for 2 or 3 games, you can't expect Henry Nicholls to be keeping to, whether it be Astle, Santner, maybe Sodhi, do him a good job over 3 games when he hasn't done it. So I take from that there is a specialist wicket-keeper going in the squad
who can fire with the bat every now and then.
Yeah, and there'll be question marks. I think he also does the same role at the top as someone like Colin Munro could do. So would you need both? Would you be able to then say Tim Seifert can cover the top and give us power if we need it? Or could you, and then use the other spot for maybe an all-rounder, maybe a Dougie Bracelet? Do you take 3 spinners? But I think we've got 14 because Kane Williamson, and then I think that in this squad, and then add in a keeper, there's 15.
I think just finishing off the keeper, what you talked about, whoever keeps to the spin bowlers, if it was Henry Nichols with the gloves and he was keeping to the quick bowlers, didn't keep well technically and broke a finger, that's a top order bat. That's essentially out of your contention to play the games as well. That would concern me, that, you know, technically you've got to have someone who's competent for all parts of behind the sticks.
I also think that pitches are going to be pretty good over there. And I think if you create chances, you've got to grab them. And I think bowling sides out, this is always the case in cricket, you bowl them out, you get 1 run more than them, you generally win. I think that having your best, all those bases covered are hugely important. If your spinners create opportunities, you want them taken. A banana skin in that 3 to begin with, sure. And then they hit India and they've got to improve. We know that when they get to Trent Bridge. South Africa, always competitive, have great battles with New Zealand in World Cups, so generally Indies an unknown quantity really. Chris Gale back in the fold. Pakistan, always trouble. For New Zealand, Pakistan is always a troublesome side. Don't know why, they just are. Then the Aussies, and then the English. It is a fantastic format. Everyone gets a crack at everyone.
Well, based on what you were just talking about, he's explosive with the bat. And he's evolving, and it's a good sign to see him. He took a good catch standing up in the stumps on the Super Sprint on Sunday. But then I throw in, if you want to take the best wicket keeper, that's the middle order, then would BJ Watling be the man? Unfortunately, he hasn't been playing any really white ball cricket. Taylor trying to do that lap shot. But would BJ Watling actually be that next man? If you wanted someone, if you've got Colin Munro covering the top, you need someone to cover that middle order. Would he be the next best option?
I think you've highlighted another thing there too, Craig, is that your Neeshams, your de Grandholmes, your Santners have to play a very, very big role. Haven't in the series, haven't had to. In the World Cup, they're going to certainly be massively key to your overall performance. Ross Taylor's working himself through a slower start here, 9 from 23 deliveries.
Well, I'll be interested to hear the thoughts of Mike Hesson, who's in the next stint, because he, leading up to this, has done a lot of planning for the Cricket World Cup, and BJ Watling was given opportunities for New Zealand A. What was his thinking, and why was he looking to get BJ Watling in New Zealand A with potentially maybe being in the squad? So it'll be interesting to hear Mike in the next stint.
And he was on it.
Around just who's going to make 15.
And that's when you pick a squad. You can't necessarily pick the best number 3 or the best number 4 to replace Ross Taylor or Kane Williamson. You've got to pick somebody who might cover more than one bases. That's why the challenge is there when it comes to a 5th.
Come up with interesting names, don't we? I mean, hybrid, that's just a utility, isn't it? Someone that just can do.
Into the socket in the wall, and he'll come out refreshed the next morning, just like the cars.